everybody. Welcome to episode 2 of the Modernist podcast. I'm your host, Briar. I'm joined by...
Christina Jones.
Are you going to say it like super soft like that?
Christina Jones.
You didn't even get louder. You whispered it louder. And my other companion...
Grevan Jones. Also known as GJ.
Yeah, you know GJ from a lot of videos. Now you put a name to a... Or
face to a name.
A face to a voice.
And a name.
And a name. And I'm sorry you're disappointed now.
It is kind of a sad moment.
But today, I invited my two friends to join me because we're going to talk about technology. I've been wanting to talk about this for a while, considering that we work in the... I keep holding this fucking button. I got to put that in my pocket.
The button of justice.
It is. It controls everything. What?
It's going to click in your pocket.
It's not going to click in my pocket, okay?
We're going to get done and it's going to just not record.
God, that'd be my fucking lie. No, Grevan and I work in the industry with technology, a big change in industry. And one of the things, like, we're working with customers and stuff like that, I've noticed is just like, everybody's different with technology. Like, everybody has a different outlook on technology. So I wanted to get together and talk about what you guys think, how technology's impacted your guys' lives. Plus, we took some user answers, Facebook question answers. What's the word? What am I looking for?
Facebook comments.
Facebook comments. Yeah, that's it.
Feedback.
There you go. That's better. God, I suck.
We also have a pretty good description of the consumer base, because we have somebody that hardly ever uses technology, a technology nut,
yeah,
and then the guy that's kind of like, I kind of like it, but at the same time, I don't really care if I'm got the newest of the new.
Right, exactly. So I wanted to...
Yeah, you don't use technology.
I break it, okay? I'm sorry.
You do break it. I really don't want to give you my iPad and let you draw on it now.
I really want to touch it. Okay. There's an iPad over there.
Yeah, that's what we're recording video on. Which there's a video coming up soon about that, so watch.
Ah!
You like I plugged my own channel there. Go watch.
www.youtube.com/
The Modernist Podcast. You forgot the name.
It's not my channel.
You're on it
help.
You're on it like 90% of the time. You know, I'm like, this is my long con to get you a part of it, so we can both quit our jobs and be successful at doing this.
Yep. Yeah, that's a pretty good little...
If it came down to it and you had to quit your job for this, and it was and it was gonna prove to be like a actual good income to support your family, would you do it? A lucrative income.
If I was gonna make a lucrative income from this, yes, I would quit in a heartbeat.
Really?
Yeah. Go to work every day or record stuff.
I spend all day recording. Eventually, this is my dream, and this is gonna date it because it'll probably happen in a couple years. I want to eventually have like my own studio where that's where we go to work. We just shoot all day, edit, and then get a team of editors. I'm not going to pay you if you sign up now. Sorry, I'm broke.
I have no money either.
He's got three kids?
Yeah.
I was thinking 4 for some reason.
Not 4.
Christina,
3.
Is there something you want to tell us?
No, I'm good.
We went down a rabbit hole.
We are not coming out anytime soon.
But
hey, technology affects children.
That's true.
Hey,
and you know this.
Way to pull us out of the rabbit hole, Christina.
Yeah, now take the lead.
Wow. Our 3-year-old is really, really smart because of technology.
That's something that freaking blows my mind. Like, my 4-year-old nephew can... Like, the other day, I was telling you about this. Mm-hmm. I turned on my PlayStation because I was installing a game, and he saw a game on there that he watched his dad play. Mm-hmm. It was just like, it wasn't actually playing. He just saw the name of it, and he was trying to say it, and I couldn't figure out what he was saying because he had Minecraft on the iPad in front of him, and he was handing to me and telling me to help him, but then he was saying the game on the PlayStation, so I couldn't figure out what he was saying. I had no idea. But then once I figured it out, I gave him the controller, and he knew exactly what to do. And he's 4.
Grayson played Minecraft.
Well, it wasn't Minecraft. It was that Among the Sleep game, that baby game we played on the stream.
Why would you let him play that?
I didn't let him play it, but
Okay,
You just said you let him play.
No, he held me at gunpoint, took the controller, and I had no choice. I mean, but it's crazy to me that like he knew where the jump scares were. Mm-hmm. He was able to recall that. He knew what to do in the level. Granted, he's 4 and couldn't really hold the controller, so I had to help him on some parts. But he knew exactly what to do, and that just freaking blows my mind. Because like they are learning, kids are learning so much faster with technology than we ever did. Especially because I'm younger than you guys. It was a little bit easier for me because I feel like I was like right in the middle of it all.
Like right whenever it was already kind of established and then starting to pick up
steam.
Yeah.
Right. Because you guys probably experienced it
later in
when it first started.
I am not going to comment on this.
I didn't have a cell phone until I was 16, and it was not a smartphone. It was a Nokia, and I played Snake on it and T9 texting.
Somebody came in the other day.
I have all of you beat because my first phone was about that big. Had a little bitty screen on it, like that size, and it was all black, and you couldn't see it in the daylight or at night.
Oh, it was like a Game Boy, like the old school Game Boy,
and it had 10 minutes a month on it.
Oh my god! So that basically you use it to call your friend and be like, "Hey, get on the home phone," and then hang up, and that was about it.
My parents like bought it for me, and then let me take it with me whenever I would ride my bike into town. And the first time I did, I ran out the minutes before I even got where I was going, and I never got it back.
Oh my god! But see, how long ago was that?
Mid-90s, early 90s.
Early 90s. So about when?
Like 94.
21 years, to be exact.
Oh.
Does it make you guys feel old?
Makes him feel old.
I'm not that old.
28.
But, I mean, then speaking of old...
Is it 27 or 28? Because we kept saying back in...
It's 27.
He's going to be 28 in like 3 months.
Anyway.
Okay.
But then speaking of age, somebody that was born in the 80s like me, we grew up with it. Just like you guys did. Not in the same aspect because we were still kind of a little older whenever it started really coming up. But then you have the generation of consumers that come in that are 40s, 50s, 60s. I mean, we have 70s and 80s coming in, 90s coming in. And they're adapting to it. And they're more open-minded about it than some of the younger generation is, for instance.
I think I pushed the button.
I fucking told you.
Hold on. No, because it shuts off after a while. I believe we're good.
But anyway, like I was saying, you have the older generation of people. They're a little bit more adaptive to it. Uh-huh. They don't understand it by any means.
No,
at all.
But they're common
they're
consumer.
more. They want to learn it. They're not mentally capable of doing it. And then you have the younger generation that's coming up with it, and they take it for granted. I think.
I agree.
Like, how many times have you gone to dinner, and you see an older generation couple sitting there eating and talking, and then you see their kids or see the table next to them that's younger generation, and they're like this,
right,
eating their food, phone in hand.
Or if it's Paige, they're like,
yeah, selfie,
taking selfies all day.
Selfie.
See, that's I agree with you all about that, mainly because you're right. I think now, just in the last, let's say, 5 years, how quickly cell phones have taken off.
Yeah.
I mean,
just the 5 years I've worked at the cellular company.
Right, exactly. I mean, it's crazy, and I think it's because your generation and my generation, we're getting to the point where we're adults. We can do what we want. We see something out there, we go get it, and that really fuels the consumerism of technology. Especially, I mean, granted, it's so stupid to me because every year we get a new device. Doesn't matter what manufacturer it is. Every single year we've got a device. I mean, nowadays we know exactly when it's going to happen. Apple always releases in September. Every year.
They used to release in June.
Yeah, but they moved it to September. And even this year they're going to release 2 iPhones. They just released the SE a couple weeks ago. And now they're releasing one in September. And it kills me because we're so absorbed into it. And I'm the world's worst. I'm speaking to myself here. Because I literally get the new phone, every new phone that comes out. And
but you're also part of that younger generation.
Right.
94 to 95, 96, up to 2000. I mean, even the 2000. Kids born in 2000 are 16.
It's so weird.
You know what I mean? Like that generation is want, gimme as far as electronics go.
Mm-hmm.
But then that comes to the point of what we were wanting to talk about. Is that a good thing? Or
I
is
know.
it like a bad thing?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? If you look at like this year, for instance, you guys might agree too. This year was a huge win, in my opinion, for social media. Like getting everybody
absolutely.
involved in the election process. That being said, it was kind of a lose for that too, because you have the younger generation that are a lot more outspoken on social media, are able to use it more, are touting about this and that,
Mm-hmm.
Bernie Sanders, Donald Trump, what have you.
Yeah.
And then you have the older generation picking it up also. So now that older generation that was kind of pure and used it, but they weren't on it all the time, now they're getting more involved with it.
Yeah,
using
absolutely.
Social media.
I mean,
it's more of a disconnect from society to get a more connection to the digital society.
And it's so,
Because they don't want their voices lost because of the way that it's fluctuating. So then the older generation is going to fluctuate that way
right.
too.
And see, my thing is like, I hate it. We can all say we fall victim to social media in some way. I mean, it sucks, in my opinion, because on the outside looking in, like if you actually took a break and stepped back from it, it's almost depressing looking at it since, because like we post, including this podcast that we're doing, in my mind, I'm posting it for like almost like gratification. Like I want others to see, hey, like look what I'm doing. But on the flip side, they're watching it. Everybody, the audience, you guys are watching it because you want to be like, you feel like you're a part of it. Like you feel like you're with us right now having this discussion.
Right.
It's one of those things where you're connected, but you're also really far disconnected from what's going on. And that goes back to the restaurant.
Right.
Sitting there. I mean, me and a couple of my friends, we've made it a point to where once we go out to eat, we sit our phones down. We don't touch them. We enjoy the evening because 9 times out of 10, you're not spending $20 for the food. You're paying for the atmosphere and the experience to be with people, especially people that you don't get to see all the time.
Unless you're us. We get it and leave.
Right, yeah, you guys are...
We eat it at home.
You're hermits. You're like, is this going on the interwebs?
Where's my cane?
Hey, when we eat at home, I put my phone down. You're the one on your phone.
It's true.
We're watching loud ass videos. I'm sitting here with the kids, like trying to eat, and there's just fuck all of a sudden just blaring out of your phone. I'm just like,
the kids are like, Mom, Dad's doing it again.
no, Grayson just ignores it. He's used to it. I mean,
and that's what blows my mind. Is like I can't remember the last time. Well, I probably could because my family we're pretty. When it comes to technology and stuff, we're pretty disconnected.
We have a critter in our wall.
Oh my god.
That's weird. Oh well.
It's the fucking cat under our house, I swear. It needs to leave.
A shout out to the cat. But like I was saying, like
Ghost cat.
Oh my god, that is loud.
Little did we know we're filming our death.
Yeah, so if you see this, it's been real. I love you, Mom. No, oh, I lost my point because fucking whatever that it was.
Ghost cat.
No, like I was saying, back to you guys. Like you're on your phone eating dinner. Like now, I don't know of a time where, and it's not just cell phones; it's technology in general. We have
computers, iPads.
Not even that. I'm talking about like television. I mean, television's a huge thing.
Television's been around for a long time, though. Yeah, they came out with the whole TV dinner thing just so you could have something quick to eat, so you could watch TV.
But even when I guess it might have just been my family, but when we were growing up, my parents would be like, all right, turn off the TV, we're going to go sit at the table. Mm-hmm. And that's how it was. We spent time together. It wasn't that for you at all?
My family. We ate in the living room, TV blaring, or go to our rooms and watch TV or play games.
See, that's how it is now, though, is like, usually.
There's no quality family time.
Right. And I mean, and that goes back to the connected and disconnected part. Like, oh, we know what's going on with our friends. I can pull up Snapchat and see... Snapchat. And
Snatch Chat.
Yeah, Snapchat.
See, I can't use Snapchat. I get so confused.
See, my thing is
What's that fucking ghost doing? What is that?
What? Quit freaking out. It's okay.
Can't use it.
Hey, we might get the first like actual ghost on camera.
It has to turn that way. To get
We're
the
talking
ghost on
about
camera.
Fuck that
technology,
room.
not ghostly
Fuck
things.
that room. Oh God, I hate your
I've
house.
seen it.
It's like,
I don't like it.
Shadow
stop.
thing.
Shh. Don't speak about it.
Man.
I'm getting hot. This is bad. We're talking about technology.
But it's one of those things where.
But then you also got to look at the good in it too.
Go ahead.
You know what I mean?
There's a lot of
like
good.
there's a lot of good. We wouldn't have jobs if there wasn't
Right.
good in it.
That is true.
For instance, like a family. Yeah, there may be disconnects whenever you're trying to eat dinner or have a conversation with a family. But nowadays, a father or a mother don't have to worry about where their kids are.
True.
They could see where their kids are. Granted, back whenever I was young, it didn't matter.
Right.
You would leave the house, come back at dark, mom never thought a thing about it because you always came back. You know what I mean?
That was.
You do have a lot more. It seems like the world has gotten worse. You know what I mean? But it hasn't, in my opinion. I feel like the younger generation is what's made it worse. Because whenever I would go out, eventually, yeah, I got in trouble. Smoked. Or drank. Or what have you. But
Did you?
I
know
didn't
this?
do that until
I
I
have no
was...
idea.
I'll
I
file
didn't do
the
that
divorce
until
papers.
I
Thank
was
you.
at a driving age. Like where I could drive away from the parents. You have kids now that come into the store, for instance. 10, 12, 13. Still babies, basically.
Yeah.
Mom and dad are taking their phone away because they were sending nudes.
Damn nudes.
You know what I mean?
Gets them every time. But no, yeah, I
You know
understand
what I
what
mean?
you're saying.
So, like, what was I was getting at a certain point, and I don't even know what I was talking about now.
Well, you also have the predator fact.
But predators have always been there.
They have always been there, but since technology came in, it makes easier access for them to get to them children. Because honestly, the child brain, it's not an adult brain. They don't
You're right.
think like we do.
But they also put themselves out there.
But they don't
because
realize
of their own choices. That's what I'm saying.
I know.
Because the technology gives them the door, and they're opening it up and going through. Left
That's
and
the
right.
thing, and a big thing I want to talk about is online I'm gonna fuck this up. Anonymity. What am I trying to say?
Anonymity.
Being anonymous online. That's what I'm trying to find.
Anonymity.
Anonymity.
Aminosity.
Aminosity.
No, that sounds like Travelocity.
No.
Yahoo!
Sued.
Yeah, right. Fucked. Thanks a lot, Grevan. No, but it's
We support you.
being anonymous online plays a huge factor into it because it basically before technology, before like talking on the phone to everybody, we had our thoughts.
Anonymity.
Anonymity. I don't think that's it. That doesn't sound right
That's
at all.
it.
I don't
You know, we
think
all
that's
have
it.
phones here. We can just look it up.
No.
You vote.
Yeah, leave a comment and tell us what it is.
Anonymity.
They're just going to spell it out and we're not going to be able to
We'll
say it
still
anyway. No, but it's like we get off on these things and I forget what I'm trying to say.
Predators.
Technology is bad for predators. Good for predators.
It's good for predators because, and I took a psychology class about this in college. They talked about with technology, good one. You can, nowadays, we can actually put thoughts and everything into our, like, in front of us. But the big kicker is we can edit those on the fly. Rather than talking and having conversation with somebody,
Text messaging.
text messaging is the biggest example. You can actually sit there and think about what you're going to say to that person and then reply. And I think that's the negative part of it because most kids now in the younger generation, they don't know how to talk to a person.
No, they don't.
How often have you typed up a big old long thing on Facebook or text messaging and be like, delete,
Right.
and never send it?
That
That if you would have blurted that out to the person you were actually
you
saying
would
it
have
to, you
ruined-
might have ruined a relationship.
Right.
So, I mean, it's a good thing, too.
Mm-hmm. It's a good thing. I agree with you on that because there's been times where I've been pissed off about something. I've actually wrote down everything I want to say and I feel better and I just delete it and don't send it. Now, there's some people that make the mistake.
Kind of like a
and actually-
deletable journal.
Yeah, exactly.
But you can't go back and look at it.
Right. Which maybe sometimes that's okay. But it's hindered us in the sense of we're losing skills that are needed. I mean, being able to have a conversation with somebody, especially in like our career, even yours, being a teacher.
Yes.
You got to be able to talk to people face to face and actually have a conversation.
Let me just tell you something. When they're writing, they use text language. And I'm like, that is not an English word. You cannot write that. There's not numbers in a word.
Right.
And they're like, well, that's how I text. I'm like,
or you
it doesn't matter.
The letter U.
Oh my God.
They have done that a lot. They're just not realizing. They're not putting commas. They're not putting any of this stuff because they're just type it all out on a text. And they don't do anything. I mean.
Okay. Where were we? What were we talking about?
Technical difficulties.
We had some technical difficulties. Sorry.
A baby woke up.
Yeah, we had to pause it.
Yes.
You and your damn kids.
Speaking of kids, we were talking about education technology, how children using text language on actual papers where you're supposed to have proper grammar and
this
English
is why
words.
I had her on. She brings us back.
I did bring us back. Okay. Another thing is I've noticed with kids, their brains can just not function. They cannot put anything in ABC order, any kind of words in ABC order. And that takes me back to, I learned how to do ABC order when I would go to the library and look for a book. They don't go to the library anymore. Our library barely has books because everything's online, which is great.
Cursive.
I know. I learned
wrote cursive as well.
And to this day, I don't know how to write cursive.
I don't know how to write
It just
cursive.
completely...
I don't know how to write in cursive either, but I learned.
Yeah.
You ask a kid what a cursive is now, and they're what
cursive.
cursive is now, and they're like,
Yes,
I
I write
know,
cursive
it's-
on all my papers when I grade them, and they're like, I can't read this. I'm like, well, hopefully your parents can. Because
can't.
You could write secret messages to their
So-
parents that they don't know how to read.
I write all my notes in cursive, and they're like, I can't read this. I was
Your
like, you're not
child's a
supposed
piece
to.
of shit.
Oh, no, never say that. No.
But that's one of the skills that I'm talking about is like being able to write. My dad had me on his lap on a computer when I was 2, but I still learned some skills just because computers weren't a big thing. They weren't mobile, that's for sure.
Yeah.
We never had a laptop or anything. We always had the desktop at home. So at school, I was learning a lot. But then I remember at 6th grade, I took a keyboarding class. Like actual learn how to type on a computer. And that completely, I would say, probably ruined my handwriting.
I
Because
still do computer typing.
yeah, I mean, nowadays, I don't write anything out. Everything's online. Everything's digital.
Oh no, we write stuff out at work.
Barely.
I do.
I
guess I'm just old.
Well,
I still like a pen and paper.
I do numbers, but it's doodles. It's never like, oh, this is what you have to do, like long conversations. I
Yeah.
just can't do it. Like I'd rather, for me, it's more comfortable to do this.
It's a big convenience thing with technology. I mean, I think that's what the real strive for technology is to try to make things better and make things easier and improve upon things that we have.
That is really good because actually one of the questions or one of the answers we got when I asked that question, how does technology, what does it mean to you? Like, is it good, bad? How's it impacted your life? And Aaron, shout out to Aaron for answering that.
AA Ron.
No, it's actually air on.
Air on. I call it AA Ron.
What do we call him? Up in Kansas?
AAA.
AAA. We'll tell you what that means, Aaron. So be on the lookout for that. But he said that technology for him has almost made him a little bit lazier, mainly because we don't have to work near as hard to get what we want, especially with technology. I know in places like Austin, Texas, and Seattle, I mean, Amazon, you can order, they have Amazon Now, Prime Now, where you order something that you need. It could be like toilet paper or something, and you get it within an hour.
They're bringing up grocery shopping here.
Right, yeah. I mean, a lot of places do grocery. You order your groceries and somebody delivers them to your
But
house.
you got to think. You know what I mean? Like, normally, because the grocery store is still going to be packed.
Yeah.
So you're not impacting the grocery store by a few hundred people, few thousand people ordering groceries from Amazon. You're actually going to be creating jobs for them to get that delivered.
I know,
and
but
picked.
look at it. 10 years ago, how technology was. Think about technology 10 years from now. What if we don't have grocery stores? All those jobs are gone because everyone's ordering them from these online
true.
places.
It's not that the jobs are going away in the sense. I think it's the jobs are just moving, like migrating to a different atmosphere. Like soon, I think it could be true. I think in 10 years from now, like mom and pop grocery stores are going to be done.
But and then at the same sense, then you also have technology stepping in to improve things for the better too. Again, with the jobs, people are always arguing the jobs are going to go away. Like in the coal industry, coal's pretty much done. Like,
Right.
coal is not being used very often anymore because technology figured out a solution for it. It's not the best solution, natural gas and fracking, whatever, but there's still...
Don't get me started
there's
on
still, that. There's still some good technology coming out of it because you have solar companies that are making solar panels that are more efficient.
Yep.
Solar energy is 5%, 10%. I'd have to double check, but it's like 5 to 10% of the market now, whereas 5 years ago it was 1%,
Less than 1%, I would probably
or
say.
less. Yeah, so it's improved significantly, and it's creating jobs because you have to have people to clean the mirrors. For the thermal solar power plants, you have to have people to install them and maintain them for the actual like bringing in the sun.
Dude, that would be a job.
Maintaining the batteries. So you got those people in the coal industry that are losing their jobs because they're shutting down the coal mines. Turn your focus towards the energy that's there. Like the people, like we live in Oklahoma. The fracking industry took a big hit because oil prices are down, right?
Yep.
Those people could use technology or learn the technology and get the jobs where they are. That's the thing that that a lot of people aren't understanding. Like, yeah, technology is making us lazier in some aspects, but at the same time, it can also make us smarter. It can also make us strive to do something different to improve our lives or what have you. Because they could be coal miners one day, go to a tech school for 6 months a year, and then they got a job at a solar power plant where they're not sucking in death gas every day.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. No, I'm with you on that.
So, I mean, technology's got its bad where it's kind of disconnecting society in some ways, but it also has its good because technology is what's going to keep us from destroying this planet.
Absolutely. I agree with you on that.
It's not going to be Sally writing in cursive fixing the planet. You know what I mean?
She's like, I got this.
The solution to the melting polar caps is I can't make an S in cursive.
God, fuck S's in cursive.
Those are easy.
I know,
I
but
write them in French.
everybody like got mad at me because my R's look just like my S.
Mine do too. It's okay.
Like it looks stupid.
My J's aren't even J's. I don't
What's
even know
it?
what they are. It's a swirl.
I was trying to think
That was
of
another. Well, you brought up a good point. Aaron also mentioned he believes it's helped him a lot because we have like endless amounts of information now.
Yeah.
At the palm of our hands.
Yeah.
That's another reason why I don't think libraries. You guys don't do libraries anymore or anything like that because anything you need is right here.
If not more.
If not more, exactly. I mean, I can't tell you the number of times that I've gone online. Like my car's messing up. I research what it's doing. I go online.
I rebuilt my computer by looking at Google.
But you have to remember, if you have a kid who's always on technology, always doing simulations, always doing modules, and they're never doing hands-on experience, what makes you think their cognitive mind can go into and just start doing something?
The one thing that technology will never do is take away the actual experience of doing. You can simulate. Even if like with
I don't know.
Great. I'm not saying.
I don't know. VR is pretty impressive.
It's not impressive enough to actually simulate.
Sir, you haven't seen VR porn. That right there.
VR porn.
You get the proper tools.
We're talking about children in education.
You don't even need.
Oh, I banged. I banged on the table.
I banged earlier. It's fine.
She bangs. She bangs. Am I on American Idol?
No.
Yeah, that's what this is.
Wow, we lost conversation again.
Anyway,
we're great.
What I was saying before he went on his porn trip, you're never going to take away the actual act of doing. So technology can get as good as it's going to get, and there's always going to be something that lets them have a hands-on.
But kids, when you take a kid and you're like, hey, do you want to play this computer game or do you want to go out to recess and play on the slide? They're going to pick the computer game every time.
God damn it.
It was on time.
I know it was on time, but still.
You're laughing.
I know, it's funny. Shut up. I hate you.
We're ruining.
Yeah, we got to go. More technical difficulties. I need a bigger phone screen. Anyway, not screen, but storage. Anyway, you just got done saying kids need to go outside. And I completely agree with you on that. Mainly because... what's it? Never mind.
It's a TV.
Oh, okay. Mainly because kids need to go find their comfort zone. That's one thing I learned in my neuroscience class.
But at the same time, we both said that we would pick video games.
Right, absolutely. But, I mean, kids need to know if they fall off a slide, fuck, that hurts. I better not do that again. Like, that's something they don't learn in simulation. Like you said, it has to be an experience. And that when they're developing that young, it doesn't happen if they're sitting in front of a screen the whole time.
Right.
Yes.
That's why I also said, like, you'll never replace that.
Right.
Like,
But if you're a child and your brain's not there yet, if you're never experiencing that stuff, how will you know? How will you know to pour the stuff in the vial, to make the experiment, to do the experiment if you're just clicking buttons? I'm not saying that technology is bad. Technology is wonderful in the classroom, but some things you just need to do. You need to do it.
That's why
You need to learn it because we have different learning styles. One of them is a technology type of learning style, but others are doing the kinesthetic, the learning.
That's what I'm saying.
By touching and feeling, and you can't touch and feel technology.
You'll never replace doing. You just might make it easier to do.
Yes, especially like I teach in a rural school, having something where we can look on the smart board at somewhere on the other side of the world, because we're never going to go there. We don't have the money to go there. We can visualize
You
that.
don't
We
have
can
the money
see
to
it.
go there?
The school doesn't. I don't either. I'm not going to Africa. But I'm just saying that gives them the opportunity to see other world views, to interact with these children, and then you can also Skype with children, all that kind of stuff. That's great. But just the act of making everything, I think in 10 years, it'll all be technology based. They'll be all on iPads. They won't be listening to me. There won't be teachers. They'll be all doing it on the iPad, and that takes back the social aspect of it. Learning from someone that's older, learning their morals, learning all that stuff, because I teach morals, not just math. I teach morals to the kids, and they don't have that through a technology that's not, it's not a person.
Right. And
Yet.
Yet. But really,
my thing is,
you can't hit a computer when they're screwing up.
I
don't hit children, I'm just saying.
you can hit children all day.
I don't
Christina.
hit children. I love them.
My thing
I
is,
love them.
oh, give me all your children.
They're making it weird.
What the fuck's a check?
Checks.
I was writing a check out to pay my lunch bill. They're like, "What are you doing?"
I print checks because I don't remember how to write in cursive.
And I'm like, "I'm writing down my check," and they're like, "Oh." They're like, "My mom has a debit card." I was like, "Oh, I do too." I said, "Yeah, it's online banking," because 5-6 years ago, you could not do any kind of banking really online. Maybe you could go check to see how much money you had, maybe. But you always had to go up in person to the
I
bank.
used to have to drive to an ATM just to check to see how much money I had.
They didn't used to have ATMs.
And it was always so
This
low.
is right.
But that's a good
me
thing,
now.
I think.
This is the thing that's different from you guys and me. I've never written a check in my life. I've never had to.
I learned that in the third grade.
I
learned. We
write
all had to
checks
learn how to
myself.
write checks.
I don't even own checks.
I don't
I
write
don't
checks myself, but customers will give me a blank check and be like, "Fill that out for me."
Yep. That's what I was gonna say. It's like I have
know
no
how to fill
idea. I mean, it's
They might take this.
but the convenience is taken out of it. Your transactions are a lot faster if you just swipe a
true.
card.
I don't carry cash.
I don't carry cash hardly
I
at
have
all
no
either.
idea where our checkbook is. We got a checkbook because they're like, "Hey, you want checks?" I was like, "Okay."
That's where all the money's going.
It's in my purse.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to start that.
Briar just caused a divorce.
Mom, Dad, please don't fight.
Google the divorce papers. We can get a divorce in 5 minutes.
Pretty much, yeah. Through the internet.
Ow! He made noise on the table, Briar. Get him.
Get him. Grevan. Go to bed.
We're bad for you.
I'm going to pull up another comment that I saw. This one comes from Brandon. Brandon, thank you.
Thank you, Brandon.
Brandon or Brendan?
Brandon.
Brendan. You said Brandon.
I said,
It's Brandon.
Oh!
"What do you go to bed?"
I'm going to bed.
Brandon said, because he's a videographer, he said technology has made his job a lot easier because everything's digital. I agree with that.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, what we're doing now is digital.
Yeah.
This was something that wasn't available, and this is a huge thing for us. I love it.
I mean, how would you like to be sitting there listening to the whole time that you're trying to film this?
I mean, the fact that I'm filming this on my phone, transferring the audio to an iPad, it literally, to copy the footage off just a second ago, took to 5 minutes.
that was our technical difficulty.
Yeah, that was, my phone ran out of storage. Anyway, but he also said like he would love to go back to film or eventually get to shoot to film or shoot film stuff because it does make good movies. Star Wars, Hateful Eight. That was actually one of the last.
Analog as far as quality will always be digital.
Yeah, you can't beat analog quality at all.
Same way with like me being a musician. Same with recording. Mm-hmm. Like whenever we record on a digital soundboard versus whenever we record on an analog soundboard where we have to physically change the tones and everything instead of going back in Pro Tools or what have you and fixing it. Light years different as far as sound quality.
Yep. It's just, it comes down to the fact that it's convenience and its availability. Because of digital, film's no longer like available as what it used to be. Film's expensive. Yeah. Film is very expensive.
And that's another thing that technology does that makes things cheaper.
Yeah.
Your phone may not be cheaper in your thought process, but you got to think it's an MP3 player, it's a camera, it's a phone, it's an internet device.
All that stuff adds up
all
over time,
tied into one. Yeah. Like there was that old Radio Shack ad that showed like a computer, a cell phone, a media player, all these different devices, like 15 devices, and then next to an iPhone that was like hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of equipment. And an iPhone costs $650.
Right.
That's a big difference.
That's
huge. Also technology too, because technology made all that fit into that one body.
Yeah.
Versus 18 different bodies.
Right. And like we're not knocking technology whatsoever.
By any means.
We're all very consumed by it. I know I am personally. Those of you who know
she
me.
Sucks at it.
Yeah, she's terrible. Let's go on that. Let's just roast her.
So this just turned into a roast.
Okay, so actually, what you kind of missed. We talked about CDs and DVDs. When was the last time you bought a CD?
Yeah.
I mean, probably for me, the last time I actually bought a CD was My Chemical Romance. No, it was Chiodo's. It was old school, back in middle school. It was Chiodo's album. It was, something ballet.
I was a grown man.
Boneyard Ballet or something like that. But that was the last CD I've ever bought.
What year was that? My last year was 2010 when I bought a CD.
That was probably 2007.
Whenever Rance's Let the Dominoes Fall came out is the last one I bought. So I'm thinking 2008, 2009.
Even now, every now and then I'll go rent a movie from Hastings. Every now and then.
Nope.
If I can find it on Google Play though, or even, like, I don't use Apple TV, but another online service, I'm going to rent it there digitally and save the trouble. Save the gas, save the hassle. Yeah. That's easy for me.
All the people that do the $1 DVD at the Red Box or whatever.
I do that sometimes, but I don't do...
time.
Taking it back on
time. You pay what you would have paid to just digitally download it.
But Christina is different. She buys DVDs.
For the kids.
Because
I don't
it's
let her
easy.
buy DVDs for us.
I just put it in the DVD player and it plays. I don't have to switch between the Apple TV and then click the source button and then it not work and the TV turn off. And I'm like, no.
You should have seen
it. I just put the DVD in.
I wish I had a camera where you guys could see her operate my Xbox One whenever it was integrated with my cable TV.
I click it, it goes on, and then it goes off again. So I click it like 4 times and it's just
like beep,
freaks
beep.
out.
She called me crying one time.
Really?
I was probably pregnant.
What?
Technology and her do not mix at all.
Oh my god!
You know how long
I don't know how I feel about you anymore.
You know how long it took me to get her to understand that she needs to back her phone up?
I still
obviously not, because we just went through and she has like 6,000 pictures.
Don't discuss.
It's backed up now. I had to buy extra cloud storage.
I didn't say what the pictures were.
Nothing.
Oh man.
Kids.
We got another comment.
My kids.
Yeah. From Sarah. Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Wait.
Not your sister.
Oh, okay.
No, not your sister. Different Sarah.
My sister sucks. She didn't put anything.
No, you don't, Sarah. You better comment though.
You really don't, but you should comment.
Sarah says, in my opinion, technology has changed our lives into a simple and easy situation without question. As technology is becoming more advanced than ever, most of the products are designed to make our lives more convenient. And we touched on that. Absolutely. 100%. I mean, just this whole recording setup is convenient and easy for us.
Mm-hmm.
It took a little bit because of like lighting and stuff like that. But if we had all that straighted out,
And technical issues.
yeah, a little bit of technical issues, but that's all avoidable.
Yeah.
And it would be a streamlined process. We agree. I agree with you 100%. But I also agree with Aaron in the sense that it does make us, in a way, lazy. I know for me, and we kind of touched on this, ordering food is so convenient nowadays.
Yeah.
It is.
When was other than B-dubs the other night when we had it, when was the last time you actually talked to somebody on the phone to order something?
I personally, like, if I can order it online, I prefer to order from that restaurant than to call the restaurant because I don't want to talk to somebody. I just want to click what I want and not do any kind of social interaction.
And that brings up the whole social interaction.
But you also
thing.
take
But
out.
I'm
But
at
you
school
also
all
take
day
out.
interacting with people. I do a lot of socializing from
And
4
you
o'clock in the
also-
morning to 4 o'clock at night, and I'm done talking to people.
You also take out the human error aspect.
True,
At
because
least
the
on
order,
the ordering process.
Right.
Because it's still got to be cooked. But you take it out of the ordering process because if you tell somebody at CC's, I don't think they deliver, but let's just say you tell somebody at CC's you want a pizza with everything minus mushrooms. They forget to do the minus mushrooms.
or they don't write it down, or they mishear you. They could say, "Oh, he wants
Or they
extra
tell you
mushrooms."
your salmon comes with
versus-
potatoes and you don't get them.
She's still salty.
I'm salty about that.
But
We're calling you out, fucking CC's.
It wasn't CC's, it was Applebee's.
now we're
Fuck you,
sued.
Applebee's.
Oh, I mean Apple lose.
What?
we get a call from like
That was your improv?
we get a call from Tucson, Arizona. What the hell did you say about us, sir?
I'm a
Never.
man.
I'm never gonna have you on an improv show.
Sorry, I didn't mean to say it.
Apple lose.
I also got a late comment. It actually came in.
We have another one.
Yep, from Jordan. Jordan.
Thank you, Jordan.
Yeah, thanks, Jordan. And you
Thank
guys
you.
all know Jordan.
I'll handle this.
I don't know Jordan.
Okay.
I
Tell us
don't
the
know who
comment.
Jordan is.
Tell us the comment.
I don't have the iPad.
Now tell us the comment.
Yay, Grevan can read.
Spoiler alert, it's not on the iPad. I memorized it.
Spoiler alert. I don't know how to read.
But Jordan says, he wrote a novel because he's a writer and he always writes novels. And he basically said...
30-page essay.
Yeah. He basically said was technology for him, because he's in the band AIA. He's from the first podcast that we did. He mentioned it's made his life a lot easier in the sense of exposure. It's kind of like, to sum it up, it basically leveled the playing field, technology has, because a band can go up on SoundCloud and basically that's like almost self-producing in a way.
I can speak to this too.
Yeah, you're gonna...
My band, the band I was in whenever I was growing up, we started back in 2004. In 2004, we had MySpace.
Yep.
Some of you don't even know what MySpace is.
Is.
It is a no-brainer.
Words are hard.
I didn't pass English. But some of you don't even know what that is. But MySpace was the only outlet we had to be able to get our music out, other than playing shows. There's bands nowadays that literally do not have to go live.
Yeah.
They, like, how many YouTube videos have you seen where that person is doing shows now because of their YouTube album or their YouTube video?
I got the best example. Fucking Psy and Gangnam Style. That is the most watched video on YouTube to date.
Yeah.
It's got over I think it just ticked over 2 billion views. 2 billion.
You gotta admit the dude can dance.
But yeah, he didn't tour or anything. He made the video.
Yeah.
And ever since then, it went viral, and there's his career. I mean, that's the thing.
Versus somebody that was in the music industry for 10 years.
Right.
Cats get popular off of social media.
Yeah, fuck that.
Cats.
I mean, cats
Nobody said social media is smart. Not necessarily smart, but
it's, in my
the
opinion,
trending things are smart.
this is my opinion on the whole industry and self-created art and technology. Everything is oversaturated now.
Yeah.
The potential was awesome when it first started. I mean, now you see a lot of companies that have grounded themselves into online media, and that's all they do, and they are making a huge living on it. But they've been in it since it began. If you're starting today, it doesn't. you have a harder time because it's so oversaturated.
So many people doing the same thing.
Right.
Like even like Vine, for instance.
Oh my gosh,
like Vine. I got into it for a little. I never did one, but I liked watching the videos. But it was just somebody would do something funny, and then every single Vine personality would do the exact same type of video because it made money.
Yep.
Oversaturation.
Yeah, and that's the thing with the music industry now. Granted, if you had access to it 10 years ago and it was just coming up and it wasn't near saturated, you could make a fucking killing on it. Because that's free advertising for you right there. Yeah. Where everybody can see it. You're getting your band in front of people. Now, there's countless number of artists that get overlooked because of how oversaturated it is. Yeah. And I think that's the harmful side of it.
And then, I mean, honestly, that really comes down to, I mean, that's a harmful side of technology because you have like an iPhone that has like an amazing camera on it. Like
I know, like we were just talking about it. Yeah.
Camera on it. Whenever I was in the music industry, like I haven't been in the music industry for 6 years now, but whenever I was in it, there were cameras, there were video cameras, but they were not editable. They were
They weren't edible?
Editable. Editable.
He likes to eat them.
They weren't edible.
Is that a word? Editable?
Editable? Yeah.
Yeah.
That just sounds
you couldn't
weird.
edit them.
Right.
Right? Because the only way you could edit, because some of them would be like on little discs or what have you, or an SD card. Mm-hmm. You could, technically you could edit it, but it would take a massive computer that was very expensive that the everyday person at a venue or at a show would not have access to.
No, that would be...
Whatever you recorded, that's what you had the ability to work with. Yeah. So there was no way of getting a music video other than like paying a professional to do it. There was no way to get a good live sound other than a professional recorded live sound mixer. I mean, there was no way of getting the exposure you have now. If my band would have started now versus then, I guarantee I would have probably been able to do a lot more than I did. And I did a ton just DIY. So that was before technology. We didn't have jack for technology whenever I was in that band. Like we toured, our first tour was an Atlas and MapQuest. You guys have no clue what MapQuest is. I promise you.
I'm not ignoring him. I'm listening. I'm just looking something up.
But
they said
MapQuest is terrible.
That's how we made it. There was just no exposure. You had to go out and show people what you got, not just put it on Facebook or put it on Instagram or SoundCloud or anything like that and then become popular overnight. That was something you had to work for.
One thing, technology in cars is like so advanced. Like I have never ever had use for Bluetooth because I just avoid anything. I don't understand.
Anything electronic.
But now, like if my phone rings, I don't have to pick it up because my car is just like, oh, someone's calling. Click this little button. So I click the button on the steering wheel, then I can hear him talk, and it's hands-free. Mm-hmm. And it's wonderful. It's safe. That is a very good sign of technology.
That's a good aspect of technology,
yes.
Yeah.
But then it's when like people are like Snapchatting and they get into wrecks and die.
Like that new Snapchat thing, that feature where it does something with the video or whatever whenever you go faster.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
That's just neglect on Snapchat's side. Like that's a technology industry taking something that was fun and quirky and everybody enjoyed and making it dangerous.
Yeah. Back to the whole media thing. It's not that media has gotten worse because of this.
No, I'm not saying media has gotten worse. I've said the exposure has gotten better, easier.
Like what? It's over. It's
what was his name? I'm sorry, Jordan. Like, I was about to say Justin. That's why I asked.
Hey, well, that's his brother.
Jordan and Justin. But yeah, like Jordan said, exposure has gotten better. You know what I mean? And like AIA is a band from Muskogee. Yep. You wouldn't have heard of a band from Muskogee anywhere else, and they have they have thousands of views and likes, right? Mm-hmm. So I mean, they're known, and that wouldn't have happened like 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Like 10 years ago, whenever I was in a band, we never had thousands of likes on MySpace. I think we eventually did, but it took a while.
Yeah. And my thing is, if you can sort through all the crap that's on the internet, there's some very good quality stuff. I mean, Brandon, I hung out with Brandon recently, and he was telling me about there was this whole film shot with an iPhone 6s. The entire film was shot with it.
fun fact, all of Apple's commercials are shot with iPhones or iPads.
Yep. I mean, it's just, if you dig deep enough and you actually go out and find stuff, you can find some really good created content.
Spoiler alert, maybe not all, but a lot.
A lot, yes. Yeah. But because there's a lot of shit on the internet.
I meant the iPhone thing that I was talking about.
But no, there's a lot of shit on the internet.
That too.
Including probably this podcast.
But
I mean,
hey, no, this is good. We're having an intelligent conversation. We're not just making fart jokes and pooping on each other.
We did discuss pooping.
Did we?
We discussed anal, but that wasn't anal.
No, when did we discuss anal?
Oh, you guys weren't there for that? And on that bombshell, we're going to start to wrap things up because I feel like we're going to run out of storage again.
Probably already did.
Yeah. Oh, God, please no. Thank you guys for watching. This is kind of like, I wanted to bring Christina and Grevan. I'm Christina. Christina and Grevan on because they're really good friends of mine, but they also have different viewpoints. Like we said, Christina is not the greatest at technology. Grevan's average. He's above average. I'm way above average. I mean, we have different viewpoints.
I even say that at work.
I mean, it's one of those things where that's what I wanted to focus with the Modernist was to bring in different sides of every story and talk about that. We're not saying right or wrong, which is good and which is not. We're just voicing our opinions on it because we want people to start thinking differently. That's the whole point of the Modernist. Having a modern mindset is taking things in from all sides and forming your own opinion. Take what we said. Don't take it literal. Take it as gray, not black and white. And think about it yourself.
Come up with your own
opinion about it. On it. Because everybody's different. I mean, that's the thing. And with technology, it's opened up our eyes, especially growing up, to see other worldviews in a different way rather than having something told generations after generations down to us and then that's all we know. And that's a big problem, I think, in our world. Still, there's a lot of people that's all they know and they're not making an effort to learn differently. So we're going to try to continue this conversation on Facebook and on YouTube. If you like the video, drop it a like, subscribe. That helps the channel out a lot. And comment, and we'll get back to you guys.
Yeah.
And we'll love to, like I said, I love having conversations like this. If you have other topics you guys want to talk about, let me know. And we'll get a group together. I'll find the best people for it. And we'll have a good discussion like we did today. So, Christina, Grevan, thank you guys. Thanks for lending me your house to shoot. Thanks for lending me your kids to work as slaves. Interns. But we'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.
Thank you.